Hello and welcome to Mr. Game Review Show. Don't forget to subscribe the channel, hit the like button and put a comment below the video. Thank you so much. Pinocchio for the Sega Mega Drive, released in 1996, is a platformer based on Disney's animated film Pinocchio 1940. The game follows the story of Pinocchio, a wooden puppet who embarks on a journey to become a real boy. The visuals in Pinocchio are vibrant and colorful, capturing the charm of the original Disney animation. The character sprites are detailed, and the environments are true to the movie's settings, from Geppetto's workshop to the inside of Monstro the Whale. The animation is smooth for a 16-bit game, and the cutscenes between levels are impressively well rendered, giving players a sense of progression through the narrative. At its core, Pinocchio is a standard side-scrolling platformer with Pinocchio running, jumping, and dodging obstacles. The game introduces different mechanics to keep things fresh. For instance, players must balance between avoiding dangers and collecting items such as stars and coins. Some levels introduce variety by letting Pinocchio ride a donkey or swing on ropes. However, the gameplay can feel unbalanced at times. The controls are responsive, but the hit detection is occasionally frustrating, leading to some unintentional deaths. The difficulty curve is also uneven, with some sections being extremely easy and others surprisingly challenging, especially given that it targets a younger audience. The soundtrack is reminiscent of the film, though somewhat limited due to the hardware constraints of the Mega Drive. The sound effects are serviceable, but nothing particularly stands out. Still, it adds to the Disney magic with familiar tunes from the movie. Pinocchio isn't a particularly long game. With a few hours of playtime, it can be completed relatively quickly. Replayability is minimal unless you're keen on revisiting the charming aesthetic or are a fan of Disney's classic tale. Pinocchio on the Sega Mega Drive is a decent platformer that excels in its visuals and atmosphere but struggles with some inconsistent gameplay mechanics. It's a fun experience for fans of the movie or younger gamers, though more seasoned platforming enthusiasts might find it lacking in depth and challenge. The game captures the charm and atmosphere of Disney's Pinocchio 1940 beautifully, from the character designs to the environments. Fans of the movie will appreciate how closely it follows the film's storyline. For a 16-bit platformer, Pinocchio stands out with its detailed sprites and vibrant colors. The levels are richly designed, with each environment being distinct and visually appealing, staying true to the settings of the film. While it's primarily a platformer, the game introduces different elements and gameplay styles to keep things interesting. From standard platforming levels to riding a donkey or swinging on ropes, the game provides a range of activities that help break up the routine. The animation of the characters, especially Pinocchio, is fluid and well done for the hardware. Cutscenes between levels add to the storytelling, giving players a nice sense of progression. The game is relatively accessible for younger players, thanks to its charming presentation, familiar characters, and simple controls. It offers a family-friendly experience that isn't too overwhelming for novice gamers. For Disney fans and retro gaming enthusiasts, Pinocchio taps into a sense of nostalgia, making it enjoyable not just as a game but also as a trip down memory lane with one of Disney's most beloved films. Pinocchio on the Sega Mega Drive does feature boss fights, though they are relatively simple compared to those found in other platformers of the era. The game includes encounters with key characters and challenges that serve as boss-like moments, usually towards the end of certain levels. One of the notable boss encounters is the confrontation with Monstro the Whale. In this section, Pinocchio must escape from the giant whale, which serves as the climax of the game. Instead of a traditional boss fight where you directly attack an enemy, the challenge is more about avoiding hazards and making it through the level. While the game doesn't have many traditional boss battles where players deal damage to a single, large enemy, it presents unique challenges that fit within the narrative of the film. These encounters are more about platforming and timed sequences rather than direct combat. If you're a fan of Disney's Pinocchio or have a love for retro gaming, the game's faithful adaptation of the film's visuals and story might appeal to you. The nostalgic value alone can make it a fun experience. The game boasts impressive 16-bit graphics for its time. The vibrant colors and detailed environments capture the charm of the movie, making it visually appealing for players who appreciate retro aesthetics. Though it's a platformer, Pinocchio mixes things up with different types of levels, like riding a donkey or escaping Monstro. This variety keeps the gameplay from getting too repetitive. If you're a fan of Disney classics or retro gaming, Pinocchio is a fun, visually charming experience worth playing for the nostalgia. However, if you're looking for a deep, challenging platformer, this game may feel lacking. It's enjoyable for a casual playthrough, but might not hold your attention long term.